Hey everyone, it's Connor back from This Old Farm, and we got another little update kind of thing for you again here. I know we've been more of a talk show, radio show, podcast sort of thingy than actual, like entertainment video stuff, but we got another one for you here today anyways. So we're in the old machine shed, as you can maybe kind of tell, and we've started work on bringing her back to life. We've cleaned out this corner over here, and we're getting ready to pull out this old sprayer frame and the planter, and I've already pulled the cub out of here. It's over there back behind the Super C, and what's going on is, as you can kind of tell, the shed wall is starting to fall off of the foundation here on the front wall. It's just this little section between the big wide door here and the small door. That's where we used to have the M parked over there. It's just that section. This front portion of the wall is okay, as well as that side wall. The back, we'll get to that in a little bit, but we're gonna try and save this front wall here before she decides to collapse. You can see these additional boards or braces that Dad put in are starting to buckle. That one's actually cracked, and the joint, the center joint where the middle comes down, is actually started to separate, and it's not connected super great anyways. It just was kind of a chunk of 1x stuff that was put together, but they've actually separated because the front is starting to fall down further. Now what's going on is that block down there is behind those two bags is the original foundation, and they didn't go deep enough with it. You can see it's only maybe a foot or two deep, and that's when they stopped, and that is actually the top plate right up there. And so what's happened is this foundation has rolled forward and caused the wall to slide off of it, and now it's becoming to a point where it's concerning the building falling down or not. And part of that is because of the rear of the building. I don't know if you'll be able to tell too well on camera here. I'll try and add in some photos that I took from the back side of the building outside of it, but you can see that the wall is falling out, and the same thing has happened there. They didn't go deep enough down below the frost line, and so as your moisture in the ground freezes over winter time, for those of you that don't know how the frost works, your moisture in the ground freezes and pushes the soil up, and so what it's done is it's pushed up on these foundations both here and in the back, and caused them to move uncontrollably, essentially. You know, in this case it's pushed the back of it up, so it's rolled forward. Same thing back there. It actually pushed the inside of it out, just like it did up front. And that stuff back there, you'll see in the photos, is actually flopped down almost onto its side. So I'll show those I'll add those pictures in now. So you can kind of tell that it's kind of becoming a dire situation. We might have to do some fixing up back there. Do kind of like well, you might not be able to see in the corner there. Add some additional studs, because those ones are kind of getting rotted out on the bottom. But we're gonna try and bring the building back up now. Our plan up front, at least, we don't have a plan for the back of the building yet, but the plan up front is, after we get the sprayer pulled out of here and the planter's only coming out because we're concerned about if the building does collapse, we don't want it trapped in here, because that's our main planter. We'd have to go buy another one if that one got trapped in here. So once we get this stuff cleaned out, we're going to try and fork the original foundation out and save it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to dig a 42-inch deep trench here, because 42 inches puts us below the frost line. That's what technical code is for our county. So put it down, dig down 42 inches, and we're going to do that, but not by hand. We're going to see if we can get a friend of my dad who is is waiting to have a backhoe attachment for the front of his skid loader that he bought, have that arrive, and then we'll ask him if he would be willing to help us out here and dig in that trench. And then we're going to put that original foundation in on its side though. So this would be its side. We'll lay it on the flat side rather than having it stand up like it used to be. Lay it down, drill some holes into it, and put some rebar in. And then we're going to put forms maybe a little bit wider than the wall. I don't know what if this is 14, we'll go, for rough numbers, we'll say this is 14 inches. So we'll go 10 or 12 inches wide for the rest, for the stuff, for the form. And that'll be the foundation that comes up and the wall attaches to. Hopefully it will be a little bit more sturdy. With that being laid on the flat side, it'll disperse the load a little bit, is kind of the thought. Sort of in a roundabout way, kind of do how new buildings are set up, or how new foundations are made, I guess we'll say. You have a wider base and then a skinnier up piece. I don't know what your technical term is for all that stuff, but that is kind of our hope with the front of the building here. And I don't know what's going to happen with the back. It's going to have to be filled in. We're going to have to put fill back there and possibly put in a retention wall to have kind of just a flat ledge back there that covers, the most of the foundation. The same thing needs to be done for we call it the new garage on the other side of the wall here where the backhoe is in. On the back side of that, the sand is eroding away because the farm here is pretty much just sugar sand. Everything's all sugar sand, or some people call it blow sand. But so the water coming off of the roof of the shed over there has washed all the sand away and caused some pretty bad erosion. So it kind of needs a retaining wall from the end over there all the way across over to the other shed, so that stops eroding the sand. But we can get into some tractor talk here. It's going to be a little bit dark for you guys, but this is actually Monday that I'm making this video on. Usually I make my videos on Saturday and Sunday, but today's Monday. So I have nothing to report on you for the Super C. It's been sitting here. I'm going to order some parts from Steiner for it and an alternator, and we're going to get to cooking on that. But the Cub Low Boy here, I did replace or reinstall the ballast resistor here for the coil. It's kind of in there loosely for the time being, and I did go through and I cut out my connector here. I know you guys can't really see anything, but I flipped that diode around so that it's the correct way, so that hopefully when we get it running again, it'll actually shut off with the ignition and not keep being juiced off of alternator power. So I also pulled the carburetor. I'll get you guys a light. This is ridiculous. I pulled the carburetor and it's in tough shape. It's not too terrible. I guess I shouldn't say it's in tough shape. It's not too terrible. It's just got some basically dust in it. It's not dust, but corrosion dust, I guess we'll call it. The problem I'm running into is that somebody had to JB weld the fuel inlet screen into it, so we're probably gonna have to get a replacement carburetor, and I think I have one lined up. So a Tractor Club member has one that he bought for his tractor, but his had the Zenith on it, so he's still got the IH style, which is what this one had on it. So we're gonna pick that up from him and put that on here, hopefully it works out. So maybe sometime down the future I'll get a replacement top half for the carburetor, or replace, get a original replacement sort of thing. But we're also running into now problem with the fuel tank's all rusted out inside, so I gotta clean that out a little bit too. That's because I didn't have enough. I should have either drained the fuel out of it or filled it full. I only had maybe an inch in the bottom of the tank, and so it caused condensation and then rust. So kind of sucks about that, but we'll get it cleaned out, get a carburetor on it, and get it going again here. So when I do get it going, I'm probably going to pull the mower deck off of it and put the little blade out front, and it's going to be pretty much just a tractor show tractor at this point. Something to, the Tractor Club's tent box, I'm going to shut off my light, tent box for the Tractor Club that we have right now, it's just on 4 caster wheels, and what we're going to do is we're going to put it on a trailer, so then that cub can pull the little tent box around on its trailer. So I'm going to go back in the shed. It's windy and cold out today. It was almost 70 degrees and sunny yesterday, and now we've been cold, rainy, and windy all day today. It's kind of sucked. So, and then we're in some light too. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on around here, trying to save the shed and save tractors. And we kind of wanted to pull the old 56 Ford 2-door out of here. Some of you guys, I think Tractor Hyatt, seen it. I haven't touched a lot on it because I'm not really so much a car guy. I'm more tractors and stuff. But this is my dad's. It's an old 1956 Ford. I believe it's custom line, if I've done my Googling correctly. He said it's not a Fairlane. It's the same year as when the Fairlane came out, but it's not a Fairlane. He knew that, but he didn't know exactly what it is. I think he said he put a truck motor in it or something, a pickup motor, but I can't remember exactly. But it's been sitting here for about as long as I can remember. So, but yeah, that's what it is. It's an old 56. So we did want to get it out of the shed here, but I can't, because of how much the front has fallen. I can't open the door enough here, and I don't think we'll be able to get it out, not without cutting the bottom of it, and I'm not super duper interested in doing that. So, because then once we get the shed prop back up, then it's going to have a big huge gap on the bottom of it, and I'm not too interested in that. So hopefully the shed doesn't collapse and we'll be okay with leaving it in here. But anyhow, that's all I got for you guys this week. Hopefully you don't mind that too much. And I know we're just kind of still on the talk show thing, but eventually here we'll get you some footage. We got that. I'm working on getting the manure spreader fixed up. I think I got the apron chain to be fine. I was able to rotate it by hand, so I think we're okay on that. I just have to, I'm waiting on some CA 620 chain for the drive that goes from the gearbox down to the drive shaft, the apron drive shaft. Waiting on that to show up. I ordered that off of Amazon, so because it was the cheapest around. Everybody else was over $100 and Amazon was 65 bucks. So we'll see how long the chain lasts, but hey, I'm not gonna cry for 65 bucks. So hopefully we can get that going this weekend. This Saturday we have to go pick up a tractor for Tractor Hyatt, so we won't be around the farm Saturday. We'll maybe footage that. I know Kenny Kizzle is coming with, or there's 2 tractors we have to pick up, so Kenny's driving and I'm driving. So we'll see. I'll gather some footage, but if I don't, Kenny will. I know he usually grabs footage of that stuff. So anyhow, I've rambled on for 10 minutes. I'll let you guys go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. Hopefully you enjoyed our little rambling rant, and we'll talk to you guys all next time.